Who said I was dead? In fact, I'm only rising from hell. Hello and welcome to Splat Talk, the series where I let my mind smack talk about different topics related to Splatoon in general. And today we'll be talking about Sheldon Speaks. Back in Splatoon 1, Sheldon Speaks were a set of weapons distributed in 2 volumes that were released after the supposed end of regular content update in 2016 as a way to thank the fans for their gratitude and support of the game. These were essentially a third variant to many existing weapons with different subs and different specials for a different playstyle, and with a different, flashier skin compared to the originals. Fast forward to January 2019, there was a Japanese tournament called Splatoon Koshien that pitted up the best Japanese teams against each other on Splatoon 2, which ended up in GG Boys being victorious. There was also a Off the Hook concert with the 2 idols sporting their Octo expansion clothes, but it was the occasion to announce that 10 weapons from Sheldon Speaks would return in Splatoon 2 even after the content updates ended on Splatoon 2. We don't know when these will be released yet, but from the announcement on social medias, the weapons that will return, as listed from top to bottom and left to right, are the Heavy Splatling Remix, the Cherry H3 Nozzle Nose, the Soda Slosher, the Bamboozler 14 Mark III, the Splooshomatic 7, the Permanent Ink Brush, the Fresh Squiffer, the Enzap 83, the Air Spray PG, and the Grim Range Blaster. If you played Splatoon 1, you'll notice not all of Sheldon's picks will return, and that's because some weapons from the game already have a third variant as part of the Kinsa collection. So the Berry Splattershot Pro, the refurbished Mini Splatling, the Tempered Dynamo Roller, the Wasabi Splattershot, the Bento Splat Charger and Splatoscope, and the Core Gross Splat Roller will not return, unfortunately, if you wanted them to come back. As we can expect, these weapons will get different subs and specials from their original variants. We can expect them to come along with Fizzy Bomb, Torpedo, Booyah Bomb and Ultra Stump, since they're the latest sub and special weapons to be added to Splatoon 2. Some of these weapons may get a set of sub and special that mirrors their original counterpart from Splatoon 1 in some ways, or even have something completely different. However, more than predicting what sub and specials will come to each weapons, I have a few personal expectations from Sheldon Speaks in Splatoon 2, like more Splat Bomb launchers on more viable weapons, because so far it seems there's no real Slayer type weapon that have a Splat Bomb launcher, and I wish to have a decent weapon I can play well that has a Splat Bomb launcher, like a Slayer weapon. More Burst Bomb launchers, since the only weapon to have this special is the Bamboozler 14 Mark II. However, it might not be impossible for Mark III to have a Burst Bomb sub-weapon too, with a Booyah Bomb, because why not? A Splash Wall on Cherry H3. Part of what made Cherry H3 terrifying in Splatoon 1 is that it sported a very defensive set that let it have free time to spare on shooting its target for compensating the delay between each 3-shot bursts. But since Ink Armor has gone to the H3D, I can see the Cherry H3 with a Bowler, because Ink Brush Nubo also got a Bowler instead of a Bubbler in Splatoon 1. Point Sensor and Ultra Stump on Enzap 83. Because the Point Sensor is criminally underused in Splatoon 2 due to not being assigned with good weapons that would facilitate hunting tactics, I think it's only righteous to have a Point Sensor on a weapon that paints well, like an Enzap. And I put in the Ultra Stump here in order to mirror its original kit in Splatoon 1, because I think the Ultra Stump is closer to look like the Kraken than the Bowler does. And if not Point Sensor, then Torpedo, please. A Splat Bomb for Sploosh 7 for another alternative of a slaying weapon. I guess any specials not assigned to a Sploosh-o-matic will still do well, in my opinion. I hope Fresh Squiffer can hold its charge much like the 2 other Squiffers. A Splash Wall or a Splat Bomb on Soda Slosher. Splat Bomb would make sense since it was its original sub-weapon in Splatoon 1, but I want Splash Wall because I used to play a lot of Slosher Deco which had a Splash Wall in Splatoon 1 and it was absolutely bonkers beyond the Kraken. So I hope or expect between either of them and with Ultra Stump, because why not? I guess Grim Range Blaster will get Burst Bomb and Stingray. It would make sense since not only it mirrors the original skit, but also because in the datamines, before we got the actual custom range blaster with Curling Bomb and Bubble Blower, this weapon was listed to have a Burst Bomb and a Stingray, so it will make much more sense in my opinion. Or the developers will troll us by adding something like Splash Wall and Booyah Bomb to this weapon, I don't know. Heavy Splatling Remix might have Point Sensor and Booyah Bomb, but that's just my guess. I mean, the vanilla Splatling in Splatoon 2 has a set that mirrors that of the Heavy Splatling Remix in Splatoon 1, so let's try to compensate that. Other than that, I have no particular guess or expectation on Permanenting Brush or Aerospray PG. I don't speak too much of Fizzy Bomb because it's not my cup of tea, trust me. Say, even out of the blue, they could also release a Fizzy Bomb launcher or a Torpedo launcher and no one would see it coming. But yeah, these are my guesses on what we might get from Sheldon Speaks in Splatoon 2. Will we get another surprise content updates before the end of Splatfest in Splatoon 2, or are Sheldon Speaks all we'll get for the rest of Splatoon 2? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any guesses on what these weapons will be about, or what the future holds for Splatoon, feel free to tell me. That's it for this video. If you have any suggestions for another topic I can Splat talk on, then let me know in the comments. This was Starless Sonic, and I'll see you next time. Bye! I told you that damage up still continues to influence Splatoon 2 to this day.